As County Assemblies Forum, and also as MCAs in this country, the 2,287 of us have been keenly following the going-ons at the National Assembly regarding the deliberations and the determination of the matter on the county wards Equitable Development Fund, that is Senate Bill number 34 of 2018. On 22nd of September, which is yesterday, 2020, the National Assembly defeated the said bill, and most unfortunately, at its second reading, without even giving it any attention at all. The same will now, without any necessity nor rationale, have to go to a mediation committee of both the National Assembly and the Senate. The National Assembly stated in their reasoning, which is obviously skewed and fraud, that the bill should not be proceeded with as it is unnecessary, since there is adequate existing laws on fiscal decentralization. That is what one of the reasoning behind the defeat of the bill. That the subsisting laws had clear and elaborate frameworks of financing county governments, budget execution, monitoring, and oversight. But we think otherwise. That there is no legal gap that the bill is addressing outside the existing legal and regulatory framework. This is a huge disappointment to us as the county assemblies of this country, to AGICO, and to the whole nation at large, considering that Kenyans have been denied their constitutional right under Article 174 of the Constitution, which sets out the objects of devolution, among them being to give powers of self-governance to the people and enhance the participation of the people in the exercise of the powers of the state and in making decisions affecting them. To recognize the right of communities to manage their affairs and to further their development. To promote social and economic development and the provision of proximate, easily accessible services throughout Kenya by decentralizing the provision of services under Article 176(2) of the Constitution. And to ensure equitable sharing of national and local resources throughout Kenya, down to the level of Wajiko, the Moras of this country, the Shepets, and the Fatumas. Further, it is disappointing that on 10th July 2020, the County Assemblies Forum had consulted with the leadership of the National Assembly, and we got the assurance that the bill would be supported at the National Assembly and pass seamlessly, as the bill was good for the country. But this has not been the case, and a window of economic emancipation of our people has unilaterally and arbitrarily been crossed at the world level by our National Assembly. A gross injustice has been instituted against the members of the county assemblies and the citizens of Kenya at large by this betrayal by the National Assembly. Considering that the MPs themselves have a constituency development fund and have witnessed the benefits of such fund to AGICO at the larger constituency level, why this cannot be cascaded down to the ward level, where the little AGICO lives, we cannot understand. It defeats basic logic. The expectation of the County Assemblies Forum and the public at large was that MPs should have been in the forefront in advocating for the County Wards Equitable Development Fund Bill, as it promises more development to the citizens of Kenya at the ward level, and for equitable development and growth across all the counties in this country. This bill sought to promote further decentralization of development by creating a framework for identifying projects that are beneficial to locals at ward level. It also has modalities of resource allocation to the projects, implementation and oversight of the identified projects. We want to sincerely thank the Senate for the unanimous passing of the bill at the Senate level. This bill, Senate Bill number 34 of 2018, was unanimously passed by our Senate. And by that, we appreciate that the Senate, at Article 96 of the Constitution, is truly the protector of devolution. But take note of the action by the National Assembly to stifle devolution, that we as the county assemblies, we have taken note of the action by the National Assembly to stifle devolution and resolves to continue fighting for the establishment of the Ward Equitable Development Fund through the County Wards Equitable Ward Development Bill number 34 of 2018, as passed by the Senate. If this approach proves impossible, which we doubt, because we expect the MPs to respond positively to the concerns of our people, CAF is keen to ensure the Building Bridges initiative establishes the Ward Equitable Development Fund with not less than 30% of the annual county development budgets being allocated to the fund. And I think when we issued, as County Assembly's Forum, a statement in Mombasa last week, we categorically stated that the assemblies of this country will only look at BBI if most of the issues that affect Wajiko directly are taken care of. And one of them is the ward being identified as the primary unit of development in this country. Due to these devastating actions of the National Assembly, and further, the inability to attend to the constitutional requirement of gender equity in Parliament, we are in concurrence with the advisory of the Chief Justice or to the President on dissolution of this Parliament. We think it has lost direction and it has lost purpose. And as assemblies, we are appealing on the President to fast track the dissolution of the Parliament so that Wajiko can have another chance to put responsible people in that August House. County assemblies of this country will actively, when the President sets the ball rolling, we are actively participating in the dissolution of the National Assembly, as its actions amount to going against Article 174 of the Constitution, and further, it goes against the will of the people, who tirelessly and very early in the morning came out in large numbers to vote for them, and now they are wasting the aspirations of the people of this country. I think that every development vote, we shall get at least that % of that vote to be equitably distributed within the wards. And by this, we knew that the governors have flagship programs that might require very huge allocations, like dams, water distribution, and industrial plants like potato plants, milk processing plants. So we had said that % should go to the wards, because we also have rogue governors who allocate money to the wards according to what they purport to be supported from MCAs. That if you're an MCA who is not politically correct, your people suffer together with yourself. This is the mischief but this bill intended to defeat.
Maybe was this money meant to be managed by the MCS, just like the MCs manage CDF?
No, just like the CDF, the MPs do not manage CDF. They only help to mobilize people. So they appreciate what CDF should do for them so that people make resolutions on their governance and allocation of those monies. So the MC at the grassroots is merely a mobilizer. The governor is to implement, but there is certainty in that the MCS knows that Kara Ward, I have 200 million, and the MCS will be able to oversight those monies. Like now, as I have said, these monies are allocated in a global manner. We know Nyandarua has 7 billion, we don't know which money is going to which ward. It becomes a very tricky situation to be able to address the issue of oversight effectively.
On the issue of Mbaraga, as the chairman of CF, maybe what's your reaction to that? Is it advisable for the president to dissolve the National Assembly?
In my
is
own,
it legally biddable?
Obviously, the Constitution is very clear. It is one of the laws under the 5th schedule of the Constitution that Parliament should pass. And it is one of the laws that if it is not passed, then the CJ, and that statement is couched in mandatory terms, the CJ shall ask the President to dissolve Parliament. The CJ has done exactly that. And we are saying once the President sets the ball rolling, we shall come in, because we also think Parliament has failed to ensure that we are able to get the right people in that parliament for this country to be able to move forward.